Hi! Welcome to the world's biggest summit. I'm Leonie and I'm the headologist. Today I'll be talking to you about self-sabotage and its roots in fear and the evil auctioneer. So first, we need to define our terms. What's self-sabotage? You probably know it and you probably experienced it. Usually, we experience self-sabotage when we're working on a big project that's really important to us, which seems completely wrong, right? We're really excited about this project. We want to get it done. It's important to us. But we always get trapped in thinking about other things like, oh, I really need to dust today. I don't have enough money. Maybe I'll do this when I have more financial security. It all comes down to fear. We're really afraid of who we're going to be without these projects. Once they're done, then what? What are we going to work on next? What will we do with all that free time? Who will we be without this? We're also afraid of succeeding. We're afraid of showing ourselves that we can do something, that we can make a beautiful painting, or we can write this whole book. And we just don't have the capacity at that point to say, oh, that's a silly fear, because it's so deep inside of us that we don't even realize that that's what we're afraid of. So the whole point of self-sabotage is that it comes from inside of us. Self, it's got the handy self out in front so you know where it comes from. It's all about what you're afraid of. And it shows up as manifesting unreasonable deadlines, like, oh, well, I'll get this done in a few days, instead of saying, this is going to be done by Tuesday. Or you handily forget. You say, oh, I didn't remember that I needed to get this painting done. Or I forgot to email that really important email that would get me this awesome job, because you're self-sabotaging. You're afraid of what's going to happen. And it's silly. It's totally silly, because you're just stepping on your own toes and manifesting your own inability to succeed. But silly fear or not, it's still there. And it's definitely driving you to do something, whether that's action in the form of cleaning every dirty surface in your house, or it's inaction through the form of just handily forgetting. Maybe you accidentally hide your canvases, or you accidentally lose someone's email address, or accidentally delete that draft. Those silly fears are making it impossible for you to succeed. And it's layers and layers and layers of different kinds of fear. The fear of success on top of the fear of having too much free time, on top of the fear of nobody's going to like this work anyway, so why bother? And it makes it really complex, and it's incredibly hard to pull it all apart. And this opens up the door for the evil auctioneer. The evil auctioneer is a nasty little voice in your head that tells you you're bad, that tells you you're unworthy, that tells you that you can't do anything. And he's really, really nasty, because what he's doing is taking your fears, those little fears we just talked about that lead to self-sabotage, and he takes them and he repackages them as facts. You can't do this. You aren't talented. You are worthless. You are never going to create anything that anyone would ever buy, would ever want to look at, would ever want to read. You're terrible. Why don't you just give up now? And he does it at a mile a minute. And he just takes everything you're afraid of, puts it on an auction stand, and sells it to you. And says, you have to buy this because it's true. And we believe it. We believe it because we want to, because we've already heard the stirrings of those fears. So when he says, hey, you're worthless and you're never going to accomplish anything, so why don't you just stop trying? We do. Because we want to believe that there really is an easy way out, and that is to stop, is to not succeed, and to sabotage ourselves so that everything falls apart, and then the auctioneer wins. And we don't want that. In fact, it's really handy if you can actually come up with your own version of the auctioneer. Once you give things a name, once you give them a form, they are a lot easier to ignore. And I did this the other day, and I'll show you this so you can model your own. This is my Evil Auctioneer. He's just a hat and boots and all those nasty things that I tell myself over and over and over that he's trying to sell me. But by giving him a face, such as it is, and giving him a physical form, I captured him. And he now has a place in my mind because he is part of me. The Evil Auctioneer is part of us. He is a reflection of our fears and all those nasty things that try to undermine us. He's all within us, but if you can put him outside of you and give him a place that he's stuck, a place where you can point to and say, no, 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 you stop that, then he becomes a lot easier to defeat. And once you've got him out there, he doesn't have access to your fears anymore because you've turned him into something silly, which makes your fears something that is inaccessible to him. Once that happens, he can't sell you any more bullshit. Then you can start to succeed. Then you can start saying, well, you know what? Maybe I can do this. And no, who cares if anybody buys it? Who cares if anybody likes it? I'm doing it for me. Or I need to do this email so I can get this job and I'll be really happy. And if they say no, oh well, whatever, there's going to be another job. Don't let the Evil Auctioneer repackage your fears and tell you it's okay to trip yourself up, that it's okay to tell yourself no when it's something you really want and something you love. The easiest and quickest way to fight off the Evil Auctioneer, to fight back these fears that are keeping you from succeeding, is to check in with yourself. It sounds a little woo-woo, but it really does work. If you sit in silence just for a minute and close your eyes and think, is this fear something that I came up with myself? Is this a self-sabotaging fear, something that's not real? Or is this something legitimate? Like, I don't have enough time because it's due in 2 days and I have other things that I'm scheduled to do. Or is it, oh, well, I don't have enough time because I have to clean the house, or I don't have enough time because I have a party I'm supposed to go to. Two completely different things. So you want to listen to see if it's the Evil Auctioneer talking or if it's your actual self. And if it's your actual self talking, then maybe there's something legitimately going on that deserves to be looked into further. But if it's the Evil Auctioneer talking, fuck that. Don't let him control you like that. You say, hey, look, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be awesome at it because I'm awesome and you're not awesome. So thanks, but no thanks. There's a few other ways that you can combat the Evil Auctioneer to prevent your self-sabotage. My very favorite way is to write a to-do list instead of a to-do list. You know, we get so wrapped up in all the things we have to do. We have to do this, we have to do that. Daily, weekly, hourly to-do lists, and we get tyrannized by thinking that if we didn't get everything done that we're bad. So instead of that, take time at the end of your day to write out everything you did do, everything that you accomplished all day long. If all you did today was roll out of bed and feed the cats and make yourself some food, ta-da! You did something today. That's important. And making this part of your daily practice shows you that you are accomplishing things, that you can succeed, and it totally just pulls the rug out from under the Evil Auctioneer because he can't latch onto any of that because you've actually done something and you're proud of yourself. It's important to be proud of yourself. Another thing you can do is to give yourself permission. It sounds silly, but it does work. You have to give yourself permission to succeed. We think that we have to ask other people for permission, but we don't. It comes from within us. So the next time you feel yourself tripping up, say, no, I can do this. I am allowed to feel good about this project. I am allowed to finish it. and just give yourself permission to feel good about the project, whatever it is. That way you won't trip yourself up because you removed the boundary. The last real thing you can do is to set real boundaries and get accountability. If you just tell one person that you are going to finish your novel by August 29th, 2011, and you say, I need you to help me stay on track with this, check in with me once a week and see how it's going. That gives your Evil Auctioneer less to grab onto because somebody else is supporting you in a positive way. You've asked for help, you've got a deadline, you have concrete things that are keeping you in line, and the Evil Auctioneer can't get a handhold on that. So if you take these 4 little practices and put them into work for you, then it's going to diminish the Evil Auctioneer. He'll get smaller and smaller and smaller. One day he'll be gone, at least for that. And you'll find it much easier to circumvent self-sabotage when it comes up again because you've had practice. So I really hope this has helped. Self-sabotage, it can be such a killer, especially for creative types. Having a half dozen paintings laying around that are only partially complete gives us such a crappy feeling, as opposed to having a super clean house, which doesn't make you feel very good anyway, because you know you only have a clean house because you put off your paintings. So self-sabotage is crappy. It comes from fear, and fear leads to the Evil Auctioneer taking over. But as long as you don't buy his bullshit, you can revert the whole thing. Don't buy the Evil Auctioneer's crap, then you won't be afraid and you'll get shut down. I really hope you've enjoyed this talk. It's my first one ever, and I'm super, super excited to be presenting it to you all at the world's biggest summit. If you would like to get in touch with me, if you would like to explore more about what I'm doing, you can find me at theheadologist.com, where I write about communication, stuckness, setting goals, dealing with your emotions, shifting patterns, and generally being awesome. I also work one-on-one with people. If you think that we'd be a good fit, definitely come by and check out the site, and we'll talk about how we can make you more awesome and maybe get some of the self-sabotaging fears out of the way. Definitely come over, sign up for the newsletter because it's all kinds of freebies for our tribe members. You can also find me on Twitter at Ellie_DDI. And you can come join the Headologist Facebook tribe at the Headologist. So it's been a real pleasure presenting for you today, and I hope to see you around the verse. I'm LAD, and this has been your moment of Headology for today. Tune in tomorrow for more workshops from the world's biggest summit. Bye!